Namaskar, Dr. Saab on the dais, other dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. I'll carry forward from where Mr. Vedvyas has left. I agree fully with him that the success of two mega cities in India is in city gate distribution is mainly contributed to the initiative by Supreme Court authorities who were willing to weed out the pollutions in the city, and they have successfully achieved so. Yeah, CNG for such a mega city is definitely is the one which should be used for the public sector transport. In Mumbai, we have about 3,500 buses. We have about 2 lakh 20,000 cars, taxi, auto rickshaws. These are the vehicle which is very frequently moving on the roads of the cities, and if they are using cleaner fuel, yes, it will make it. As you look at it, we have been bracketed between the prices, affordability, regulatory reasons. If you use CNG, you have alternate which is diesel, where you as very clearly say that anchor loads come from the buses, which is so in our case also, which is so in all other cases also. If any city which is going to go for a kind of a city gas distributions, the anchor load will come from the large user, which is usually the city transport bus services or this thing. And if they are willing to switch over, normally they are cash crunched. They don't have money. They depend on somebody to provide them buses, do the kind of a financing from them and all those things, and they will look for the return. Even for conversion, they look for a financing. So if we do not have any kind of a incentivizing to do a better pollution management, they will still keep on using diesel, which is comparatively less environment friendly. So gentlemen, there's one bucket which is the diesel price. We cannot go above that. And if you look at that, the RLNG, which is now being proposed for city gas industry, will not become a viable case, because those people will not be able to spend 4 lakh, 5 lakh rupees per bus for conversion and able to recover that. The load will again come on the public, and then the politicians will come and the local government will come. So it's definitely that if you are going for city gas distribution, you will have to look for cheaper gas options. Government will have to decide upon that, which is the one. If you look for another anchor load, which Mr. Vedvyas said could be industrial houses, I agree with Mr. Bioria, which is mentioned in the morning, that liquid fuel will always can be replaced with gas. It is so for power industry, it is so for fertilizer industry, but it is not so for the small industrial unit which are hovering around a city. They use LSHS, fuel oil or something else, bagasse and all those things. Those people will not switch over to gas if the price of the gas is more than the LSHS price. It is better for them to use. They have been continuously using it. And that is the reason we have been seeing that many of the industries either switch to an area where LSHS is allowed. In some area, LSHS is not allowed to be burned. So they switch over to those kind of places. They can afford to shift there, this thing, or they will not switch over. So this two anchor load mainly depend on the price of the fuel, and which we'll have to look at. The second obstacle would come in the city gate industry, which Vedvyas is already highlighted, that domestic connections. It's a very low volume, very highly capacity incentive, and require a very good management of public, their aspiration and propagation of the safety norms and all those. I must tell you, I mean, over here, this forum, we and MGL get as high as 400 gas escapes per year on the public roads. We are able to contain, we don't let it to get into fire scenario, but that is a safety need. We have to invest a good amount of money to keep those infrastructure guarded. There are so many agencies working on the roads. They dig of their own. They dig with the permission of authority. authorities do make them aware of the presence of the gas pipeline, and you know that where the discipline are there, sometimes they obey, sometimes they don't obey, and it become a problem. And that's bring the another challenge to the city gate industry. How do we assure the 5 lakh houses burning kitchen with the natural gas to provide them alternative fuel? All of a sudden he can't change his stove to LPG or something. So we need to have a sources which is sitting alternate to the pipeline provided. And that's become a good challenge for any city gate industry to hold certain volume with themselves, look at the regulator for providing kind of a storage in the pipeline, or they will have to have multiple connectivity provided with them, infrastructure fully geared to take care of such kind of this thing, or face the public irk. The Mumbai was on halt for one day because of such disturbance on the supply pipeline. We could manage partly, but some services were affected. So such kind of safety related public inconvenience is there, and you will have to manage all those things. So that's another part of it. But if you look at it in long run, if the supply of your raw material is assured or manageable or could manage it, yes, in the long run it will turn out to be a good profitable business. One could invest into it, provided you have infrastructure upstream available, you have a well linked priced. The third thing which is come on the supply part of it is that there is a large variation of intraday and intraday. Sunday there is no takeoff. Morning hours I draw more than 30% of my nominated quantity. Evening again I draw some quantity. But the way our regulatory structures have been made, we are very much liable for penalty of exceeding the nominated quantity. We have to predict, and if your prediction is wrong, you are bound to have penalties by way of transportation, overdrawal or underdrawal or things like that. So we'll have to be very carefully managed. We'll have to look those kind of rules also very carefully and put into kind of a more friendly. Any supply contract, if you look at it, on RLNG or on the supply of natural gas from the domestic source, they want that you take 1 million or 2 million and continue taking that. Less than 80% you are penalized. More than 20% you pay higher prices. City gas industry do not grow like that. It grows over a period of 15 years. And if it grows over a period of 15, I need to have mechanism by which we have escalations of my quantity going over a period of something. Those kind of flexibilities are not available by and large, and both Mr. Vyas and me have faced a situation where we have ended up paying good amount of penalties by way of overdrawal on the gases. On the large, I will say that there are other initiatives which could make city gas more attractive and all those things, but they were also bracketed by the regulatory regimes. We could generate power, like this building could generate its own power using natural gas, and the waste it could be utilized for generating air conditioning, and that could be a good viable business. But then it depends on the availability of power to them. If power is available cheaper than this, then he will like to go for it. And that's where we lose the business. We know very well this is a commercial installations. I mean, such installations are commercial installations, and they could not be subsidized by way of power or by way of natural gas, but then we can't differentiate one of others. We need to have very well drafted power policy also in order to have city gas institute. This is also coupled with the city like Mumbai. I think the case will be true in Delhi and Bangalore and other places, that power line feeding to this kind of cities are also constrained. They can't carry the power required by this. This area where we are sitting was earlier a meal area, and I was told by power supplying agencies over here, they have a constraint of filling the power to this place. So yes, city gas could leverage such kind of projects, but tariff and availability is also again on our side as well as on power side will have to be looked. This is what I have to say. Thank you.